Welcome back to the video blog. My name is Adam Daniel Mezei, your PMDforhire.com. So I'm all caught up now in my Film Courage interviews. Of course, you know Film Courage is that great indie community site and radio show by David Brennan and Karen Warden, based in Los Angeles. And I was listening to two interviews that stood out for me in particular. One with famous screenwriter and indie filmmaker John Sayles, and then independent filmmaker Jeffrey Goodman, who is a distribution and fundraising whiz. And basically they both had opinions about the future state of independent filmmaking and the ability for independent filmmakers to actually use film as a means of making an income and creating a career out of filmmaking. So let's review the two different perspectives of those two interviewees that are of interest to our little community here, and let's see whether or not that you actually agree with their particular positions. I was quite disturbed by what I had heard, so perhaps you will be as well. Well, John Sayles, to start off with, he doesn't really think that independent filmmaking is a career option. He, in fact, thinks that the lion's share, the vast majority of independent filmmakers will never earn an income from their filmmaking activities. And what we'll see by the next decade are a slew of independent filmmakers that are probably in their 40s and 50s that made some damn fine films, some damn good product, but for one reason or another, or just due to the glut of product, or because of the radically changed nature of the distribution landscape, John Sayles feels that independent filmmakers will have done very good films and very good art over the course of their lifetimes, but they won't really be able to make any money from the stuff that they do because the distribution landscape is way too tight, it's way too slim. And that was a really disturbing kind of a comment, because it basically means that either independent filmmakers will not be able to think of new ways to generate income from their films, or there just won't be enough money to go around. Jeffrey Goodman, on the other hand, doesn't have nearly as dire of a prognostication, but Jeffrey Goodman also thinks that there's a problem with independent film distribution methods. In his own experience, he thinks there is money in independent film distribution techniques, but not enough at least to generate the kind of money that's going to help independent filmmakers make their budgets back. He didn't really get into the kind of activities that PMDs do, sort of conceiving of these really radical ancillary rights strategies, ways to try to take advantage, that is, of the actual film without using the film itself, but sort of offshoots, transmedia extensions, or what we call in the PMDing trade, the extra diegetic content. The content that's not necessarily related to your film, but that's loosely related. He didn't really get into that. But Jeffrey Goodman feels that, on the contrary, indies will still thrive, but they'll never be able to actually make enough money that it becomes a profitable venture. There is money in it, he says, but we still haven't hit the kind of the killer app, as it were, the mother lode. And those two interviewees kind of had me thinking about techniques and what is the future for PMDing. I think we haven't even seen nearly yet what's coming down the pipe in terms of abilities to sort of conceive of extensions for films. So John Sayles, Jeffrey Goodman at Film Courage, and that was something that I thought you'd want to hear about. If you haven't heard those interviews yet, just go to Google and type in Film Courage and then Podbean, P-O-D-B-E-A-N, like the vegetable, and just have a listen to those two guys talk about their craft. It's really hard to believe that independent filmmakers are not going to be able to use their art as a means of creating a long-term career prospect. That basically the films they make are just going to be hanging around in a library as an accolade, as a pat on the back, but not really something they can use to help further their careers and generally, bottom line, make money. Adam Daniel Mezei here again, wishing you the best of things. Take care.